Hi guys, welcome to WebSensePro. Welcome to another automation related video where I'm going to show you guys how you can connect Trello with your N8N. So N8N is a drag and drop platform which is used to create automation, AI agents, chatbot, and you can basically connect everything with N8N. And it is really important to learn these type of tools nowadays because it's the gold rush of AI. So you should also learn everything about AI, and it's a no-code tool, so there's no harm learning it. I am going to show in this video how you can connect Trello with N8N. Trello is a really great management tool where you can basically assign tasks to your team members. It's a great tool which I've been using since last many years, like 5-6 years. And I have been amazed with the features they are providing completely for free. I mean, there is a paid tier, but you can easily avoid that paid tier, but I'm not going to go into the details of Trello. Today's video is about connecting N8N and Trello. So that is my N8N, which I am running on localhost. And this is my Trello. In order to connect Trello with N8N, you need to navigate to trello.com/powerups/admin and create an app. Now, let's first create a credentials in N8N. Let's click on credentials, click on create credential. And now I am going to search for Trello. And here is Trello API, click on continue. And I already have one account connected with Trello where this is the app, and I am going to create a new credentials for tutorial, right? And now it's asking for API key and API token. Now let's go back to your trello.com/powerups/admin, click on new. And now I am going to name it N8N tutorial. Workspace. If you have multiple workspace, I have currently a lot of workspace. You can assign one workspace with this power up integration. So I'm going to select this one. And email, you can add any email address you want. I'm going to add, let's add this one, which is our support email connected with Jira. Okay. Author name, I'm going to add my own name, click on create. And now let's click on generate a new API key. Click on generate API key again. And here we have our API key, which we will add here. So copy this API key and add it here. And now we will generate API token. Before generating the API token, I would like to let you guys know that we have creating automations for our customers. If you want any custom workflow of N8N where you want to automate the mundane or repetitive tasks, let us know via the link in the description. Click on that link and fill up the form to request the custom workflow which you might need. And I have created a lot of tutorials for completely for free. That's the N8N playlist, which I will also add in the YouTube video description. You can see that in this video, I have taught everyone about how to install N8N free using Google Cloud. Now, after creating this video and a lot of other tutorials, I was getting a lot of comments in my N8N videos that Google Cloud is eventually costing more than the N8N Cloud version. But this is not the case. I have been using N8N in Google Cloud for about 5-6 months, and I want to show you guys the billing of that 5 to 6 active workflows which I have been running since last month. This month. And so that is my billing account overview, which you can see. This is for N8N only. I have created a separate project in my Google Cloud console, and you can see the cost of N8N using 5 active workflows and the Gemini API. It's not just the N8N cost. I'm also using Gemini API. And let me take you to the Google Cloud version of N8N. So that's my Google Cloud version of N8N where I have multiple active workflows. It's a little slower than the cloud version of N8N, but it does the job and it's costing like pennies. So make sure to watch this video where you will learn how to install it using Google Cloud, and you can run your active workflows in like pennies. $0.37 is nothing. Here you can see that I have these 5 active workflows which are running on Google Cloud using Docker container. And if I click on executions, you will see I have a lot of execution this month. So you can see these are the chatbot executions which I have been running. So there are a lot of executions actually, right? Just for $0.37. So that's it for the N8N Google Cloud version. Let's go back to the Trello connection. Now, in order to connect the Trello, we have added the API key, but we will also need to add API token. And this is not the API token. This is secret. Now let's click on generate a token. In order to generate the token, click on that. And now let's click on allow. And here we have our access token. And one more thing which you will need to add is allow origins. So I'm going to add allow origin as my local host because I'm connecting it with the local host version. Let's add this here. And now let's copy the access token and then paste the token. And now let's click on save. And here you can see that our credentials are successfully connected. Now we have officially connected Trello with our N8N, and I'm using the local host version. You can also do the same process with N8N cloud version or the self-hosted version. All you have to do is just copy the API key from trello.com/powerups/admin. I'm also going to add this link in the description and add the allow origin, copy the API key, and then click on token to copy the token from here, which has been granted, and then paste the token here. Once done, you will have your Trello connected successfully. Now, up to the point we have connected the Trello. Now let's create a super basic workflow in order to do some work automatically in Trello via N8N. Okay, so that's a Trello board, which I have created just for the testing purposes. And the title of this board is Trello N8N Automation. And this is my new workflow where I am going to add a trigger. So let's search for Trello. And then here it says on new Trello event, meaning if something happens in Trello, this workflow is going to run, it is going to trigger. Let's click on add this here. And here we have already Trello account connected. And now I'm going to add the model ID. Now, what is the model ID? Model ID meaning ID of anything which you want to notice the trigger for. So let's suppose this is the board. There is a board ID in Trello. There is a list ID if I create a list. So that's the first list and that's the first card. So each of the item, meaning this board, which is this here, the list, this is the list and this is the card. Each item has a model ID. And how to find that model ID? Let's first find out the model ID of this Trello board. And in order to find out the model ID for Trello board, if we click on these three small dots and then share the board, where do we have that? Here it is. So here is the print, export and share. So I'm going to click on that. And here we have the option of export as JSON. I'm going to click on export as JSON. It's exporting the JSON file. And here is the JSON file exported. Now I'm going to open the file. And it is opened up in Mozilla Firefox. And this is my model ID of the Trello board, which I have here. So that is the Trello board name. That is the Trello board node ID. And this is the model ID, which we will use. So I'm going to copy this from here and then paste the model ID here. And now if I click on test step, it is going to basically trigger when something happens within this board, right? So let's click on test step. And here you can see that it's now listening for any event that happens to this model ID. So I'm going to create a new list and name it new list. I'm going to click on enter to add this list. And you can see that it is now giving us an output where it has all of the data of whatever we did in the board. So what we did is showing up here. There's a lot of data, meaning the list ID which we created, the name of the list, etc., etc. You can see the name of the list is new list, which we created. So that's the new list which we created. And that is the ID of that list, which we can also call model ID. That's the model ID of our board. That's the name of our Trello board. I mean, there's a lot of data in here, which we have in N8N. Now let's do an action, meaning do something if something happens. So if a new list is created, it is going to basically do something, right? Or if a card is created, it is going to do something. So let's do that. So let's add an action, search for Trello, and then let's create a card. And we will add the list ID where we want to basically create the card. So I am going to copy the list ID for this list here in order to find out the model ID for this list. So we can export the board as JSON, or we can export the card. So this is our card, which is in the list one. Let's share that. So click on share here, and here we have this export as JSON, right? And if I click on export as JSON, I can find the card ID, which is this one. And I can also find the list ID, which should be here somewhere. ID list, where are you? So here's the list ID. You can see the name of the list ID is list one, and that is the list ID. So I'm going to copy this list ID here, and then copy the list ID, and then I'm going to name the card my test card. My test card description. So we have created an automation, a very basic automation. When a new list is created or when anything happens in the Trello board, it is basically going to create a new card in the list one. It is going to create a new card in the list one if anything happens in the Trello board, right? Now, the sky's the limit. You can create any type of automation, but this is just the basic thing which I wanted to show you guys. So let's click activate. And now let's do something in our Trello board, which should create a new card. And the card name should be this, and the card description should be this. Okay, our workflow is active. Now let's create a new list. I'm going to name it test list, and I'm going to hit enter. And you can see that my card has been created, which says my test card and my test card description. And you can see that my workflow has been successfully executed. And that's it. That was a pretty basic Trello workflow, which you can basically advance, add your own requirement or whatever you want to automate with the Trello and N8N. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below what more you would like to learn. Until next video, have a great day.